What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Next Gen 720, and I am back, yes, with another video. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's been about 2 days or so since I uploaded a video. It's life, you know what I mean? But I've been live streaming, and listen, I've been praying this whole week on my hands and knees for all the killings that I've done in Halo 5. I'm getting okay now. I was trashed 4 days ago. Dude, I've been playing since the 4th of July. So, but I went Friday night. I got, I think, 17 kills. You know what I mean? But, you know, broke about even. I'm learning. You know what I mean? That's like what in Gears, I was straight trash. Now I can go out there and hold my own in Gears with the best of them. You know what I mean? All these about a week with the game. You know what I mean? We played against Xbox team. Shout out to my man Xbox. Honestly, we wiped the floor with them the first 2 matches. But then they changed the match and put vehicles and they dogged us. But next week, Bot, you want a 4-on-4? Bro, you got it. Anyway, getting into today's video, and all I can say is how soon we forget. I remember at the start of the generation in 2013, you had the murmurings that the Xbox One was underpowered. You had the Call of Duty was Call of Duty Ghost, if I'm not mistaken, was 720p. That's what started it all. And the PlayStation 4 version was 1080p, right? And then this 720p box, we've heard it all, right? So, and again, even myself, I criticized the same things I criticized Nintendo for as far as the Wii U. You don't ever sacrifice the specs of your console to include a peripheral that may or may not take on, be a hit or whatever. And that's the same thing with Microsoft. With the original Xbox One, they came out in 2013, that they sacrificed the specs of the console to include the peripheral, which was the Kinect, that no one really wanted. And it was at a $5 price tag. You had the PlayStation 4 was $400 and it was more powerful. You know what I mean? You get 1080p. Even though I said then that graphics, that their resolution doesn't give you better graphics. You know what I mean? Resolution gives you a sharper image. It's the textures and the shaders and stuff like that, the assets that give you, better graphics. I've been saying that time and time again since 2013. And I also said that, just to be fair, I thought it was silly for console gamers to be arguing over resolution and frames per second. You know what I mean? This one like PC, so I never really heard console guys argue over resolution, but this generation has been weird. So anyway, I'm reading some of these articles, and something that I came across a while ago. And you know what? I'm not gonna say. I'll leave the link here. But anyway, I was talking to a certain individual within the industry. You know what I mean? More or less do this stuff. Yes, hey, next year I know some people that know some people, right? But anyway, and some talk came up again. You know what I mean? Is the $5 price tag of the Xbox One X is going to be too much for the average gamer? Now, Phil and them came out and said that the Xbox One X is for the enthusiasts. You know what I mean? And even with that, I don't kind of agree with. I even think, but even with the casuals that buy the Call of Duties and Maddens and stuff, once they see, we're not talking about resolution because it was just giving us 4K, need a 4K, but we're getting the 4K access. Digital Foundries did a video on it a few days ago. You know what I mean? Getting better texture, so you're going to actually have better graphics in these games. Not just resolution of native 4K, you're going to have better graphics. Okay. But he was saying that, you know what, the Xbox One X is overkill. We don't need all that. What? Now they're saying that the Xbox One X is overkill? We don't need all that? I didn't hear this when the Pro came out. People praised the Pro. I went out and bought the Pro day one. Because why? I thought I was getting better graphics. You know what I mean? It gave me a higher resolution. It didn't give me better graphics. What I mean by that is, Sony kind of pegged themselves in the corner of, remember this 1080p makes you a better gamer, and I won't say more or less fool the public, but led the gamers to believe if you get a higher resolution, the games would be better graphically. It's not the case. Problem with the PS4 Pro, and I'm going to say this again, it doesn't have a high enough memory bandwidth. You can either get better graphics or a higher resolution. I say, give me better graphics, my TV or whatever, and let it upscale to 4K. You know what I mean? Then they wouldn't have a problem with the Xbox One X. See, the problem is with that is that the Xbox One X again has 9 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM that's allocated just for gaming. I believe the Pro has only 5. And not only just have just 9, is it a much higher memory bandwidth. I think it's 326 gigabytes per second. Sony's is I think 219. I may be off 1 or 2, but more or less it's a huge difference. But what I'm saying is last year I didn't hear the same talk of people saying that the Pro was overkill. Now it's again, to put this in layman terms, the Pro was at least was it 1.8, at least twice as powerful, and a little more than the standard PS4. And where the Xbox One X, you would need the Slim, PS4, and the Pro to equal the power of the Xbox One X, right? For only $500, just think about that. You need a Pro and a Slim, so you give you at least 60 flops, right? But what I'm saying is, again, when Sony released the Pro, Digital Foundry praised it. Everyone's praising the Pro. Not a problem. I went out and bought one day one. Okay, I'm not one of the guys that will criticize something that they don't own it. I'm not. You won't get that on this channel. But when I'm reading these articles and in the conversation I was having, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't yesterday, but the day before yesterday. Not I wasn't that I was, kind of privy to. The saying, that is overkill, or we don't, gamers don't need all that power. Like what? Console gamers. I'm sorry. And then I'm reading this article here. This guy named Matthew Bird. I'll leave the link down below on the HD report. Talking about when he built his gaming PC, he didn't have to get the most powerful card because he didn't need all that just to play the games that he wanted to play. Well, that's you. But what I don't understand again is this whole generation has been about power. The Xbox One X, the console that Xbox fans also, but the gamers have been clamoring about every week, or the Sony, the PS4 is 50% more powerful than the Xbox One. Come on, man. We gotta stop acting like none of this stuff never happened. Like I've been here since day one. I've been here. I've been, a part of this quote unquote this YouTube community, this gaming community since 2012. The Xbox One came out in 2013. I've been here since day one. Those who know me know. I was probably one of the, I won't say I was the only, probably at the time, I was probably one of the only pro Xbox channels you can find on YouTube back in the day, talking about, the benefits of Xbox and the things I constantly used to hear in my comment section. The Wii Xbox One is trash, the 720p box, and they were even calling me next gen 720p. Like, come on. Now here it is, Microsoft's giving you a console that can give you true 4K with 4K access, and now they're saying that the power is overkill. Like, come on, you can't make this up, man. That's why I kind of coined the term for Microsoft, be the behemoth that you are. And the reason why I say that, because you're damn if you do, damn if you don't. I remember me going back and forth with the guys on BGST about Microsoft parading around all these indies and stuff. And I still feel the same way. Indies do not belong on the big stage. You put those on the pre-E3 show or give them a little bill up after the show. They don't need to be there for the the Michael Bay movies and stuff. The big, so no, that's for the the big blocks, the AAA games or whatever. I still feel that way. Well, I remember they said, well, no, Sony's going to come out with this. Sony was riding high on these indie things, right? And Sony had the E3 last year, and then showed up one indie, and they got praised for it. So I'm sitting back again, right? So when Sony had the E3 last year in 2016, they didn't show one indie and got praised for it, right? So I'm sitting back and like, I hate to be the Xbot that told you so, but I told you so. You know what I mean? Again, Microsoft, be the behemoth that you are. Most people that are out there complaining about what this is, not really Xbox fans. It's either people that claim to be neutral or don't have an Xbox anyway. You know what I mean? So they're not going to buy your console anyway. So what you do, you listen to your core, your grassroots. You know what I mean? And again, you can call me an Xbox fanboy, fine. It is what it is. But I've been very critical of Microsoft in the past. Like, I don't think no gaming company is perfect. You know what I mean? Microsoft have their flaws. I just prefer the Xbox than the PlayStation. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But anyway, man, I'm gonna leave the link down. Lighten up to the article. You guys can read it for yourself. Also, too, like I said, swing by, check out the live stream. I'm leaving all the links down below to the website, to the live stream. I'm about to hop on a little Gears of War 4 and Halo 5. I'm playing with my subscribers. Come rock out with me. It's your boy Next Gen 720. I'm out of here. He tasks.
supreme